People impacted by that severe weather last week remain in recovery mode there in Fayette County. The scars and property damage left behind from the EF2 tornado touchdown are still visible. But as our Austin Harmon reports, memories of that storm still haunt the survivors.
The damage of this storm left its mark on this little town of La Vista in Fayette County. They gave chilling first-hand accounts of what the power of a tornado can unleash.
By the time we could get out of the mud room to the dome, it was too late. I walked on glass and stuff trying to protect my wife. She was trying to carry the dog. And wood started flying through it, blowed the back door off, all into, busted the interior of my house all up, tore the skylights up.
I was sitting there watching television and I heard the rumble. So I got up and ran into, my wife was standing inside of these doors. And I ran in there and told her, I said, get in the basement quick, a storm's coming. Didn't know this was like this till we come outside later.
Even those that are dedicated to protecting and serving the community were powerless before the might of Mother Nature.
When I started to open the bay door to pull our squad truck out, I heard it coming and I shut the door, and it got so bad I got behind this truck right here because these bay doors were slamming so hard that I just didn't realize it was a tornado in West Virginia.
Despite the chaos, there were no major injuries reported. Coleman says it wasn't luck that kept everyone safe.
There's no luck in none of this. This was all God. I mean, his hand was on top of us.
With faith burning in their hearts, they set their sights on rebuilding their home and community, one piece at a time. Here for you in Fayette County, I'm Austin Harmon, WVVA News.
Thank you for that report, Austin. Residents there in La Vista have already started the process of rebuilding, or some of them just starting over. National and local organizations are stepping in to try to provide some assistance in that community. Residents have since found places to stay in the process while they rebuild and clean up.